Okay, we're back. So this will be from Session 3, Part 5, a social cognitive model. The title here is Reading as a Motivated Meaning Construction Process, the Reader, the Text, and the Teacher. This paper I've written many more notes, so I will be reading more than I did the other two times because I want to be able to get all this in without taking too much of your time. First, I want you to know about the authors here. This chapter is adapted from a chapter with a similar title in the 5th volume of the current series, Theoretical Models and Processes of Reading. The first author, Robert B. Riddell, is a professor emeritus of the Language, Literacy, and Culture. Let me say that again. Professor Emeritus of the Language, Literacy, and Culture Facility Group at the University of California at Berkeley. He has been an editor of all 6 editions of the Theoretical Models and Processes of Reading. His primary focus has not only been in literacy research, but in finding good literacy research and placing it in the hands of professional educators, who in turn will teach it to teachers and educate teachers to use it, who will then use it to base their instruction for all readers, but most especially for struggling readers. The second author, Norman J. Unruh, is a professor emeritus of California State University in Los Angeles. His research and interest involve engagement and motivation, as well as emergent and beginning literacy. In this chapter, the first goal to discuss and explain the reading process as it occurs in the classroom, interconnecting the reader, the text, and the teacher. Second goal, to create a model that will be beneficial to both teachers and researchers. The third goal, to connect current and past research as well as future research guidelines. In order to think about the goals for this chapter, I thought it was important that we thought about the authors and where they came from. That's why I gave you that little synopsis there, and their focus and interest and how long they've been doing this and how prominent they are. Okay, 7 key assumptions that inspire the model of connecting the classroom, the text, the reader, and the teacher can be found on page 1016. I simply will read the key words and phrases throughout these assumptions that I believe are vital. In other words, I'm saying if you would like to see them read in full, that is on page 1016, I'm just going to highlight some words that I feel are very important to us as educators of educators and to us as educators ourselves. Okay, readers are theory builders and hypothesis testers. They are in a social cultural environment. Their driving force is to obtain meaning. Both oral and written language development affects the thinking processes. Readers construct meanings through gestures, images, symbols, signs, and signals embedded in social and cultural environment. Texts are constantly reinvented. Construct different in understandings over time, students do, and meanings are dynamic, not static, as individuals' text and context change and interact. The role of the teacher is in negotiating and facilitating meaning construction in the text and social context of the classroom is vital. A brief overview of the reader, the text, and the teacher includes the reader. The reader brings life experiences, social cultural beliefs, and values to the text each time he encounters the text. Therefore, the same text can be understood differently each time a reader approaches it. And who does this sound like to you? Rosenblatt. Every time a reader approaches a reading, Rosenblatt always said the reader brings to the text different life experiences, different age, different learning, background learning, which is going to change the way the person reflects upon what they've read. Teacher. Now, what does a teacher do? The teacher also brings her own social cultural value and beliefs, along with her philosophies, especially if she's been teaching for a while, and the teacher's ability to incorporate her understanding of the reader's cultural place and is able to gear instruction decisions accordingly. And did you get that part? It is important for the teacher to understand the reader's cultural place. You may have a classroom full of so many different variations of cultures, but you need to try to understand the culture that they come from and the way that they are expected to learn in their culture, the way they are expected to behave in a classroom, and the value in general that I know you can't say it for every single person, but you know, just the value and the structure of the way it is in that particular culture. And then thirdly, the text in the classroom. Context here, a teacher's alignment with incorporating the social cultural climate of the classroom is significant, while meaning negotiation processes occur as the reader, the text, the classroom, and the teacher cooperate in a critical inquiring community. Now, I wanted to point out that thus far in the chapter, Figure 1, page 1018, and Figure 2, page 1020, are excellent visual written sources for teachers and researchers to familiarize with and refer back to. Figures 3 on page 1040, and 4, page 1048, which we will encounter further into this chapter, are as well. Rudell and Unray document everything throughout this chapter with seminal research. A few examples. Okay, you hear that I'm about to have to stop this, and I will restart right here at this point in a second edition. Thank you.